All right, so today we're really diving deep, and I mean deep.
Deep.
Yeah, into a whole system of thought.
Into a whole system of thought.
Not just some ideas or concepts,
Right.
but like a complete framework
Absolutely.
for understanding, well, everything.
Reality.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's like putting on a
it is kind of like putting on a new set of glasses.
new set of glasses. Yeah, a lens.
Yeah, and seeing how the world looks
Well, totally.
through this different perspective.
Yeah.
So to guide us on this philosophical journey, we're turning to...
Śaṅkara.
Yeah.
A really major figure in classical Indian philosophy.
Huge. I mean, like, he's the guy for Advaita Vedānta.
Yeah.
And we're going to be using the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy entry on him as our main source.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It's really comprehensive.
It is.
Yeah.
So what we're going to try to do today is like unpack the core of Śaṅkara's Advaita Vedānta.
Yeah, unpack it.
Especially this radical idea of non-dualism.
Yeah, non-dualism.
Which is this idea that reality is ultimately one.
Yeah.
Yeah, without any kind of separation.
Yeah, and we'll be exploring what this means, not just for the world out there,
right,
but also
for ourselves, yeah.
Our own consciousness.
For sure.
So think of this as kind of like a
shortcut.
Yeah, a shortcut.
To understanding a very complex system.
Yeah, a really intricate landscape of
ideas.
Yeah, philosophical ideas. And hopefully you'll walk away with some
aha moments.
Some aha moment
about the nature of reality in yourself.
Reality in the self, yeah.
Yeah.
So at the heart of Advaita Vedānta is this idea of non-dualism.
Right.
So what's like the key insight? What do we really need to grasp right from the start?
Okay, so the absolute foundation of Advaita Vedānta is the concept of Brahman.
Brahman.
And Śaṅkara, drawing on these ancient texts, the Upanishads, he presents Brahman as ultimate reality.
Right. The ultimate reality.
Not just a reality among many, but the reality of everything.
Yeah, of everything that is.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it transcends any sense of individuality, any kind of separateness that we might feel.
Right.
It goes way beyond this diverse world that we perceive with our senses.
So if Brahman is this like all-encompassing ultimate reality, where do we fit in?
Yeah, where do we fit in?
As individuals.
Right, well, that's where the idea of Atman comes in.
At.
Right, Atman refers to the very core of your being.
Okay.
Your deepest sense of I.
Okay.
And here's where Śaṅkara's philosophy takes this really radical turn.
Okay.
He argues that this Atman, your deepest I, is fundamentally identical to Brahman.
To Brahman.
Not just similar or connected in some way.
Yeah.
It is the same reality.
Okay.
This identity is what's called non-dual.
Non-dual.
Meaning there's not two separate things.
Right.
There's not an Atman over here and a Brahman over there.
Right.
One single infinite existence.
Right.
And crucially, it's pure non-intentional consciousness.
Non-intentional consciousness.
Yeah, now that's a concept that might need a little explanation.
It's kind of a mind bender.
It is. It is.
So it's consciousness that's not like directed at any specific thing. It's not about like this or that.
It's not about an object.
Right.
It's just pure awareness.
Just pure being, just isness.
Exactly, yeah. So think of it like the background awareness that's always there.
Okay.
Even when you're not actively thinking about something, it's the being aware without a specific of what.
Okay. I'm starting to get a...
It's subtle.
It is subtle, yeah. Okay. So Śaṅkara's whole philosophical project is aimed at explaining this non-duality.
Exactly, systematically explaining it.
Yeah, and he delves into like all these areas. Metaphysics, language, epistemology, how we know things. Yeah. All with this goal of leading us to a
direct recognition.
Yeah, like a direct experience.
Yeah, you experience recognition of this non-duality.
Then that recognition.
It's liberation.
That's Mokan.
That's Mokan.
Okay, so this is some pretty heady stuff.
It is. It is.
Who was this Śaṅkara guy? What makes his perspective so important?
Well, even figuring out when he lived is a bit of a puzzle.
Really?
Yeah, some scholars place him in the late 8th, early 9th century CE.
Okay.
Others think he lived earlier, maybe 7th or 8th century.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Stanford Encyclopedia just actually lays out these different views.
Okay.
What we know for sure mostly comes from his writings.
Because
reliable biographical details are really hard to come by.
So we don't have like a diary or letters?
And no, not really.
Okay.
There's even debate about which deity he primarily worshipped.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, tradition often portrays him as a devotee of Siva.
Okay.
But some scholars point to evidence that suggests maybe Vinu.
Interesting.
Yeah. So a bit of a mystery man in some ways.
In some ways, yeah, but...
But his influence, I mean, that's undeniable, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't seen as the, inventor of Advaita Vedānta.
Right.
More like the guy who really systematized it. He saw himself as part of this long lineage of teachers.
Okay, a tradition.
Yeah, a tradition going back through his own guru, Govinda, to figures like Gacchapada and even Badaraya.
Badaraya, no, that's a name we've come across before.
Right, he's the author of the Brahma Sutras.
Right, right.
Really foundational text.
Yeah.
And ultimately, this lineage goes all the way back to the wisdom of the Upanishads.
And to Ujvara.
And to Ujvara, yeah, a kind of personal god.
Right, right.
Or a lord.
Okay.
Now, this lineage is really important in the tradition.
Why is that?
Because it establishes the authority of the teachings.
Right, like it's not just some newfangled idea.
Exactly. It's rooted in this ancient wisdom.
Okay, so what are Śaṅkara's main writings, the ones that really shaped Advaita?
So his most important works are his commentaries.
Commentaries?
Yeah, on these key texts. The Brahma Sutras, the Bhagavad Gita, and the 10 principal Upanishads.
Okay.
These are like the foundational trilogy of Advaita.
Okay.
He also wrote an independent work called the Upadishasasri.
Upadishasasri.
Yeah, it means 1,000 teachings.
Wow, 1,000 teachings.
Yeah, there are lots of other texts attributed to him.
Okay.
But scholars think many of those were probably written later. By heads of monastic orders.
Okay.
Who also had the title Śaṅkara.
So in his commentaries, his aim was to show that the core message of these ancient scriptures is non-dual Brahman.
Exactly.
Okay.
He analyzed these texts really carefully, tried to harmonize passages that might seem contradictory.
Right.
All to establish non-dual Brahman as the central theme.
Okay, so he was really, making the case.
Making the case.
Yeah.
And it's important to understand that while he held the Upanishads in high regard, he wasn't just blindly repeating what they said.
Right.
He was a brilliant philosopher in his own right.
Okay.
He developed new arguments, a whole interpretive framework to support his non-dualism.
Okay, so he wasn't just, a copyist.
No, not at all. He was really...
an original thinker.
Yeah, an original thinker, okay.
He also developed a specific way of studying these texts.
Okay.
As a path to realizing this knowledge.
So his influence wasn't limited to just his writings?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Śaṅkara is actually credited with setting up the earliest formal monastic system.
Oh, wow.
Within what we call Brahmanical traditions.
Okay.
This includes the Dashanami order of renunciates.
Renunciates, so like monks?
Yeah, monks who have renounced the world.
Okay.
And he also established several important monasteries.
Okay.
Or mahas.
Mahas.
Yeah, and these were strategically located all over India.
Interesting.
Yeah, and these monastic lineages and mahas, they're still active today.
Wow.
They're vibrant centers of Advaita Vedānta. So they've kept his teachings alive.
Yeah, they've kept that lineage going.
For centuries.
For centuries.
Okay, so we're starting to see who Śaṅkara was.
Yeah.
And how important this idea of non-dualism is.
Right.
Now let's really dig into his metaphysics.
Okay, let's do it.
His view of reality.
Yeah.
He bases his argument for non-dual existence on statements from the Upanishads. Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Like that famous line, one only, without a second.
Right. From the Chandogya Upanishad.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he's in line with this general Upanishadic idea that everything we perceive is made up of these basic elements.
Elements.
Yeah, sometimes they're described as 3, fire, water, and earth.
Okay.
Other times 5, space, air, fire, water, earth.
Right, right.
And Śaṅkara actually offers ways to reconcile these different models.
Oh, okay. So he's
trying to bring it all together.
Yeah, he's trying to create a unified
system.
Yeah. And these elements, they arise from an initial state of undifferentiated existence.
Right. So first they exist in this subtle, kind of imperceptible form.
Okay.
Then through a process of combination and division, they manifest as these gross, perceptible elements.
So the stuff we can actually see and touch.
Yeah, the physical world.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So where do everyday objects fit into this?
So the things we encounter, like tables, chairs, trees.
Right, a coffee cup.
Yeah, a coffee cup.
Yeah.
They're seen as derivative products.
Okay.
They don't have any independent existence apart from those basic elements.
Okay.
But, and this is really crucial, Śaṅkara doesn't stop there.
He doesn't say those elements are the ultimate.
He doesn't say, okay, we've reached the bottom, it's all just elements.
Right, it's not just like elemental foundationalism.
No, exactly. He says that even these elements,
yeah,
they're ontologically dependent on something else.
On something else.
On pure foundational existence, which is Brahman.
So Brahman is like the ground floor.
The ground floor, yeah.
Foundation upon which everything else rests.
Okay.
Everything depends on Brahman for its being.
For its being, all right. So then the world we experience, it's not as real as Brahman.
Right. The Stanford Encyclopedia describes it as less than real.
Less than real.
Or even illusory.
That's a tricky one.
It is, yeah.
So how do we wrap our heads around that?
So think about it like this. Objects, the things we see and touch.
Yeah.
They appear to exist, right?
Yeah, like this table.
Right. But their forms are essentially conceptual frameworks.
Okay.
Mental constructs that we categorize with names.
So it's not that the table isn't there.
Right.
It's that
it's
more about
our way of understanding it.
Yeah, how we label it, how we perceive it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, Śaṅkara is very clear.
Okay.
This isn't subjective idealism.
Okay.
He's not saying we're each making up the world in our own minds.
Right. In fact, he explicitly rejects Buddhist Yogacara idealism.
Okay.
Instead, he sees it as an epistemic error.
Okay.
A mistake we make by giving these objects independent ultimate reality.
But we're mistaking the map for the territory.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
We're mistaking the label for the thing itself.
Right. So it's not that the objects aren't there.
Right.
It's that their ultimate reality is dependent on Brahman.
Dependent on Brahman.
Okay.
And knowing Brahman allows us to understand their true nature.
Okay, so how does Śaṅkara distinguish between what's truly real and what's less than real?
He uses two main criteria.
Okay.
Dependence and persistence.
Dependence and persistence, okay.
Yeah. So what's truly real is unchanging.
Unchanging.
And persists through all transformations.
Oh, okay.
While what's unreal is subject to change.
Okay, it can be negated.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he uses this really helpful analogy of the clay pot.
A clay pot.
So you can mold clay into all these different forms. A lump, a pot, a plate.
A little elephant?
A little elephant? Yeah, why not?
Right.
And with each new form, the old one seems to disappear.
Right.
But the clay itself continues to exist through all these changes.
Okay, so the clay is more real than the pot.
Exactly.
Because it persists.
Because it persists, yeah.
And the pot can break.
Exactly. The pot comes from the clay.
Right.
It's sustained by the clay.
Right.
And ultimately, it goes back to being clay.
When it breaks?
Yeah, when it breaks.
Okay, so the pot depends on the clay.
Complete.
For its very existence.
Yeah, its form, its shape.
Yeah.
Have no independent existence apart from the clay.
Okay.
And this leads to some important conclusions.
Okay.
So, the fundamental ground, the clay, which is analogous to Brahman, is more real than the effect, the pot, which is analogous to the objects we perceive.
Okay, got it.
The effect is totally reducible to its cause.
Okay.
And therefore, the effect is ultimately not different from its ground.
So the pot is not really separate from the clay?
Not ultimately, no.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And this idea of dependence, it seems really central here.
It is, yeah.
Everything in the universe is changing, right?
Right, constantly changing.
But Śaṅkara says it must depend on something unchanging for its being.
Exactly.
Okay, so what is that unchanging something?
Well, he says even before the universe as we know it existed.
Okay.
Back when everything was unmanifested.
Okay.
There was still existence.
Okay.
Primordial, undifferentiated existence.
Okay.
This existence is the single potential cause.
Okay.
Without any specific form.
Okay.
And even after the universe appears, with all its diversity, that single cause persists through all objects, throughout the whole chain of causation.
Just like the clay.
Just like the clay.
Persists through all the different forms.
Exactly.
Okay.
So every object, even the entire universe, is a temporary manifestation.
Okay.
Ultimately just a name and a form.
Okay.
And at its core, the universe is not different from Brahman.
Okay.
And its form is less real than Brahman itself.
So all forms are less real than the underlying existence.
Exactly.
So to bring it back to us, to our experience, we should try to beyond the changing forms, like our roles, our possessions.
The things we identify with.
Yeah, and recognize that underlying clay.
Yeah, the pure existence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Śaṅkara brings up this interesting point about where we actually locate an object's existence.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like if we say, this table exists,
yeah.
where is that existence?
It's a good question, right?
Yeah. Is it in the wood, the shape, the function?
He says trying to pinpoint an object's existence within its form is a mistake.
A mistake, okay.
Yeah, because form itself doesn't define existence.
Okay.
If you try to trace the existence of, say, a shirt back to its cause, the cloth.
Okay.
Well, the cloth's existence depends on the threads.
Right.
The threads depend on the fibers.
Right, and so on.
And so on.
It's like those Russian dolls.
It is, yeah.
You keep opening them up.
You never reach the bottom.
You never reach the bottom.
Yeah, philosophers call this an infinite regress of causes.
Right, right. Infinite regress.
You never find a stable, independent existence defined by form alone.
So we can't find the shirt's essence in any particular part of it.
Right, and Śaṅkara says, this doesn't mean objects pop out of nothing.
Right, right.
He saw that as the view of the Vaishika school.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean that everything is empty of essential existence.
Right, because we can't find that essence in any particular form.
Right, which is a view he associated with some Madhyamaka Buddhists.
Okay.
He thought both of those conclusions were problematic.
Okay.
For him, existence is self-evident.
Okay.
It persists even as things change.
Okay.
It's the forms that are temporary,
right,
not existence itself.
So no specific form can be the ultimate ground of existence.
Exactly.
And that's why we can't find existence itself in the realm of objects and causes. Existence, in its true nature, is formless and non-dual.
Yes, precisely.
Okay. That's a lot to take in.
It is a lot to take in.
But I think we're doing all right.
Okay, good. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Now, this concept of Maya and the appearance of the universe, Śaṅkara is sometimes called a Mayavadin, which kind of implies he thinks the world is just a big illusion.
Yeah, it can be a misleading term.
Is that accurate?
The Stanford Encyclopedia points out that it can be misleading, because it makes it seem like he's just trying to negate the world.
Right.
Which isn't really his main focus.
Okay.
Actually, he doesn't even use the term Maya that much.
Oh, interesting.
If that was all he cared about, you'd think it would be everywhere.
Right, right.
But it's not.
Okay.
More importantly, Śaṅkara actually emphasizes moral virtues.
Okay.
Acting in accordance with dharma.
Dharma.
Yeah. For the well-being of the world.
So he's not saying, like, do whatever you want, it's all an illusion anyway.
No, not at all. Okay.
He also sees the world as a really important teaching tool.
Okay. How so?
Well, it's the arena where we can start to awaken to non-duality.
Okay.
It's like the training ground.
Right, right.
So his goal isn't to dismiss the world as worthless, but to establish the primacy of Brahman.
Okay, Brahman is the ultimate truth.
Yeah, the ultimate truth.
Okay.
And the world, in his view, is a dependent manifestation of Brahman.
Okay.
Not something separate from it.
But Brahman itself isn't a product of the cosmos.
Right. It's not like the world creates Brahman.
Right, right.
It's the other way around.
Okay, so if Brahman is absolutely non-dual, how does this diverse, changing world even appear?
That's a big question, right?
It is, yeah.
And it's one that later Advaita thinkers spent a lot of time on.
Okay.
They developed these elaborate theories about Maya as a creative power, linked to this beginningless ignorance.
Okay.
But whether Śaṅkara himself held those theories is debatable.
Is debatable.
Yeah.
Okay.
The point is, Śaṅkara doesn't need to give a step-by-step explanation for the world's emergence to achieve his main goal, which is
knowing Brahman.
Knowing Brahman, exactly.
Okay.
He uses cosmologies more as models.
Okay.
Ways of understanding the world that point back to non-duality.
So they're like tools.
Yeah, like tools.
Help us see the bigger picture.
Exactly. And once they've served their purpose, you can even set them aside.
Okay.
Trying to find a perfect, rational explanation for something that's ultimately less than real might be impossible anyway.
Right. Because the rules of the game might be different.
Exactly. Yeah.
At that level.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of like, imagine a character in a dream.
Okay.
Trying to understand the waking world.
Right.
They might analyze the causes and effects within the dream.
Right.
But the real goal is to wake up.
To wake up to
the waking reality.
Right.
And when they wake up, the dream's illusory nature is revealed.
It just disappears.
It disappears. Similarly, when we discover the ultimate ground of the universe, we realize the non-dual reality.
And the world of forms and explanations loses its ultimate significance.
Exactly.
Okay, so Śaṅkara acknowledges that the world seems real to us.
He does, yeah.
We all kind of agree on what we perceive. There's a certain order to things.
Right.
So it's not just like my personal fantasy.
No. He's an epistemic realist.
Okay.
At the level of our everyday experience.
Right.
He recognizes that external objects aren't just individual illusions.
Right.
Because we generally perceive them in the same way.
Right. We have this shared
experience.
Yeah.
And they follow predictable patterns.
Okay.
So the world isn't absolutely unreal.
Right.
In the sense of being totally non-existent or contradictory.
Okay.
This leads to a kind of third ontological status.
Okay.
He says the universe is an objective but less than real appearance. And he sometimes uses the term Maya for this.
Okay, so Maya is this...
It's this appearance.
Yeah, this appearance of...
Of the world.
The world, yeah.
Okay.
These objects are unreal in the sense that they're temporary.
Okay.
And dependent on Brahman.
Right.
But they're not non-existent.
Okay.
Or inherently contradictory.
Okay.
So unreal for him means less than real.
Less than real.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't negate the ultimate reality of Brahman.
Right.
The world of names and forms, it occupies this unique position.
Okay.
It's not identical to Brahman.
Right.
It's not totally separate.
It's not a second ultimate reality alongside Brahman.
Right.
Okay.
So Maya is a way to account for the world's apparent existence from the perspective of absolute non-duality.
Okay.
It's pointing us towards that underlying unity in a Brahman.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So this leads us to this two-tiered reality idea, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Where we have the conventional reality.
The everyday world. Yeah, the world we live in, and then the ultimate reality of